What are you doing now?
Well, you know when you get a song in your brain and you can't get rid of it?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has that. I mean, you wake up
do.
at 2 o'clock in the morning. Well,
Sing
I'm
it.
chair dancing. Staying alive, staying alive. Try it.
Yeah,
Staying alive. That's what
Well, the Bee Gees, they're one of my favorite groups anyway.
You gotta love it.
Oh, yeah, you did good on that.
Well, so did you.
Well.
I'm going to teach you chair dancing lessons later.
Well, maybe we can get some of our viewers out there up and dancing today. Wouldn't that
Sure,
be fun?
absolutely.
Okay, so what else do we have? But let me introduce myself first. I'm Anna Johnson, my co-host
Lew Wilson.
and you're watching Ageless in America.
That's
and we
us.
have a jam-packed show for you today, and we do hope you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got some great things coming up. But did you know? This is our Did You Know moment. Medicare and Medicaid turned the big 5-0 this week.
No, I didn't know that.
Yep, and Social Security turns 80.
Wow, wow. You know, those are two great programs for our older Americans. And, you know, I seem to remember some time ago I interviewed a guest that stated that 70% of our seniors depend on Social Security for their total income.
Really?
That's kind of staggering.
Oh, my Lord. Well, we need to keep the programs, but we are talking about that later on in the show.
Yeah.
So that's one of our the
Okay.
things we're going to be
Okay,
addressing.
and then you're in the kitchen?
Oh, yes, I'm in the kitchen. Guess what? We're going to be stirring up some fun with a delicious recipe. This is, of course, you can use these for other things, you know. These are whiskers. I know cooking things with Lou is a whiskey proposition.
Yeah. Okay.
I know, I'm having fun. But other things in the show, we're going to learn about a man that has been supporting the rights of elders
For a long time.
for a long time. We're going to learn how music helps others. And we're going to learn about, we're going to watch a son teach his mom about computers.
Happens more than not.
Yeah, I know.
But it happens almost in every house.
Hire a kid.
But I want to start off our program today with a good friend. His name is Marvin Goldstein, and he's a concert pianist, and he's actually played all over the world. He's from Tallahassee. But recently I had an opportunity to talk to Marvin about not only his music, but how music can not cure, but have a compelling effect on people with Alzheimer's or dementia. It's a great feature. I hope you enjoy it, so let's take a look.
Music is my life, Anna. I've enjoyed decades and decades of interacting with people with music and watching and seeing how it affects them.
It's magic. In one word, it is magic, but you've done some research on what it can do for patients with Alzheimer's and dementia. Tell us about that.
I have been in situations where I maintained without really knowing for sure that music could unlock their minds, that could bring them forward into a conscious way to communicate with people they were standing next to or nurses that they were with. And I would play music for patients, and they would be different. They would be more awake. They would be more animated. They would be moving their limbs that haven't moved for a while. And research currently has where that is so true that unlocking their minds as a restore point would on a computer that has a virus brings them forward to a time where they could communicate and feel strong emotional ties.
A special moment in their life. Can you give us an example of what might make that connection?
A song like this would certainly have a broad appeal.
And maybe another example?
Okay, here's another one.
Whoa. Gives me goosebumps, I know that. Marvin, you know, there's no cure for Alzheimer's or dementia, but music can certainly heal to a point for a better quality of life.
It can not only heal, it could perhaps be a cure, actually. Music, if you will, lasts into the eternities. It goes, it stays, it's part of our being. So it could actually interact to such a degree that the disease is cured without having a particular medicine. Music is the medicine.
Yeah. And you know about this all because you've played all over the world and you've seen people all over the world connect.
I have. In Europe and in the Middle East, I get people together that otherwise are politically, culturally, and religiously different. But when they have their performers together performing music, those people leave that room noting that people were there from the other side, and they are friends when they leave from a musical performance.
Okay, well let's leave our audience with some music that might help them connect with a special moment in their life. And we thank you so much,
You're
Morgan,
welcome,
for this
Anna.
interview. Well, welcome back to Ageless in America. Well, right now we have a great recipe for you that we want you to try because it involves all of the great vegetables and seafood from Florida, and it's all included in this one recipe.
Yes, it's called shrimp ceviche. I love how
You
that's
like to say in that
I know,
word.
ceviche. Anyway, and these are all the ingredients right here. I mean, we have an avocado and an onion and an heirloom tomato and shrimp and cilantro and so much more. So we're going to go through that real quickly with you because it's a very easy dish to make. And what really makes it easier is when you have somebody else chop it all up for you ahead of time and put them in all these little bowls. It really makes it easy.
It does make it easy. And so we're going to start out with our bowl with some chopped avocado.
Chopped avocado, and then we're going to add some shrimp. Yes, and the one thing about shrimp, we're using cooked shrimp, but you can use raw seafood if you put it in and marinate it in citrus juices overnight in lemon or lime juice. That helps to cure the protein, so you can use that as well.
Yeah, so one or the other, but I'd like to use cooked seafood.
Okay, I'm after that.
All right, I'm going to use some cilantro.
Cilantro, there we go. And we got some heirloom tomato here, which is awesome.
And some onions.
Yep.
Ooh.
And we got some garlic that we're throwing in there.
Okay, we're going to use a lime, and I'm going to show you, this is a great way to use the juice from a lime. We just hold the lime over the top edge of the blade, not the sharp
That's right.
part, but we just...
Not the sharp side,
No,
so that the
but
juice
see,
runs
you can
down
see
the
where
knife.
Right, see it?
Right,
See it?
we need to
Sound
do
good?
one more of those.
Okay, I'll do one more. Boy, they're slippery. Okay, here we go.
Here we go, do one more. And Anna, that's not a knife.
It's not.
No, that's a knife. I'm telling you what now.
Okay, Dundee. That's
You
good.
got it.
All
Now
right.
we want to use a little pepper and salt.
And
So
of
we'll
course,
sprinkle it in there.
I love the olive oil.
Oh, and a shot of salt. I like that.
Okay.
You can also have some wine with this. It's also very good, either white or red wine, depending upon what your personal choice is. And we put the salt in there, and then we're going to mix it all up.
I'll let you do the honors.
Okay, here we go. It's very easy to put together.
And then we have some French baguettes. These are garlic bread rounds, and they are delicious. We've already tried these.
Oh, yeah.
So-
If you'll get the glasses over here, we'll
Okay, I
get
can
this
do
thing
that.
served up real quick.
Whew, it smells good.
Oh, I know. It really is. Okay.
Okay.
If we put some biscuits in there.
Okay.
There you go.
So, hang on.
Okay. There we go. Oh yeah. This is looking really, really, really good.
I think our presentation is good.
Hey, this is
don't you?
very good. This is very good. I want you to know we're getting close to the end here, but it's a very simple recipe, all fresh ingredients from Florida.
All right, let's try a little bit of this.
I think we should. Yeah, we have to do that.
Excuse my fingers.
Ah,
Okay. Good? I know it's good.
Very good. Well,
You tell them how to get the recipe.
get the recipe at www.agelessinamerica.org, and stay tuned for the Digital Minute coming up next.
Good, good, good.
Happy eating.
Some very cool local firms want to make your golden years the best years of your life. There are benefits to being over 50, and there's one convenient place where you can find them: localseniordiscounts.com. Imagine discounts for more than 25 area restaurants, retail and shopping, health, medicine, household services. For details on these special offers, visit localseniordiscounts.com. You'll be glad you did.
I'm Chucha Barber, and this is my son Ryan Barber. And we are a generation apart when it comes to technology. And that's why we've created a few digital minutes to help people like me better understand the devices that I have in my life that are based on technology.
Well, I'm happy to help. Hey, Mom.
I appreciate it. So here's the deal, Ryan. I want to get a new computer. It happens to be a new, very thin, very lightweight computer. We won't plug the brand. But what I want to do is I want to transfer the information that I've been accumulating over years from my existing system to my new computer, the part that I want to keep, and I want to get rid, like spring cleaning.
Absolutely.
So how do I get started?
Well, buying a new computer or device is a great opportunity to do just that. Basically, clean up your current system. Oftentimes, our systems get bogged down and slow down because we have so much data and information saved on the device's hard drive. So my first recommendation when transferring data from one computer or device to another is the purchase of an external hard drive. We have an example here. They make many shapes and sizes and right capacities. Appreciate that you can buy as little as a few hundred gigabytes to terabytes, which are basically just data storage, right?
Well, what do
Amounts
you
of
think a
data.
person like me needs?
Well, I might suggest somewhere between 500 gigabytes and a terabyte. Think of it this way. A terabyte will probably last you a really long time. But what's effective about an external hard drive is that, one, you can take your data with you, so it becomes portable, and you can share it across other devices, but it just makes file transfer easier. And then lastly, as it relates to the performance of your computer, it frees up a lot of that internal running or performance, right? By saving it to a third-party hard drive, your computer is not bogged down with that. So I'll show you an example as to how we do it. So we have this particular hard drive plugged in, and it reads here, Portable Drive 1. You can name it whatever you want. And then we have an example of a piece of data that we want to save to. It's as simple as dragging and dropping.
Wow. Okay.
And then once it goes in there, I can open up my external hard drive and then go find that.
So when I get my new computer, I just plug in the hard drive to the new computer and transfer everything to the new computer that I want to keep.
To the new hard drive. That's correct.
Well, I just thought after the hard drive, it's going to go to my new computer.
Well, no, and the reason for that is because you don't want to transfer the data off of the hard drive to your new computer, because you'll just be bogging down the new computer in the same way that your first might have been. So you can just run all of your data off the hard drive to save up some of that storage space.
Okay, what about my emails? Can I do that too?
Yeah, but we'll save that for another digital minute.
Oh, man. I knew this was going to take a while.
We were born to create. We live to awaken the senses and enlighten the mind. We delight the spirit and soar with the angels. We have an exceeding desire to be, to do, to expand. Embrace your opportunity. Tell your story. Impact Visual Media. Don't be content with your content. Love it.
Well, welcome back. You know, you can never learn too much about computers.
Nope, I'm learning something every day on mine.
Well, did you know what computers and phone books have in common?
I'm scared to ask.
You let your fingers do the walking.
Okay, let's move on. Okay. You know, the Claude Pepper Center is located in Tallahassee, Florida. And if you ever get an opportunity to come to Tallahassee, I suggest that you visit the center. But Senator Claude Pepper was a fierce fighter for the rights of the elderly. I mean, he was an incredible man. So we're going to take a look at not only at the center, but we're going to interview a man by the name of Larry Polifka. He's their executive director, and we're going to talk about some of the issues that are facing all of us today. So let's listen to that interview.
When you go home tonight and you close your eyes and sleep and you ask, what have I done today to lighten the burden upon those who suffer? At least you can say, I helped a little bit today. I voted to help those who needed help. It may not answer all the problems, and it doesn't, but it'll give comfort. It will cool the brow of many who suffer. It will give hope to many who are most in despair.
Senator Claude Pepper was a public servant, a progressive-minded statesman. He sponsored legislation to promote equal rights, civil rights, and workers' rights, gaining international fame and recognition for his advocacy on behalf of senior citizens. A lasting legacy to the man and his values, the Claude Pepper Foundation dedicates all of its activities to sustaining the legacy of Senator Pepper, including his important views regarding respect for elders. The Pepper Foundation also created and funded the Pepper Institute on Aging, a multidisciplinary group of researchers dedicated to examining the issues impacting the elderly. Housed in a single building, the center consists of the Claude Pepper Library and a museum, the Pepper Institute on Aging, the Pepper Data Center, and the Pepper Endowed Chair. The facility is located on the prestigious campus of Florida State University, a few blocks from the Florida capital.
The national attitude toward old people has made a 180-degree turn. More and more younger generations have come to realize that in their elders, they have a precious and useful asset, not a burden. Old people are the same persons they were when they were young. Some may not hear so well, may have to wear glasses. Maybe a step slower when they walk, but they are not useless, and they must not be treated as outcasts, as more and more Americans have come to realize.
Well, welcome back to Ageless in America. Anna Johnson here with my co-host Lew Wilson, and I think we've got an interesting topic for you during this segment. The Claude Pepper Center, in their research, found out that over 70% of retirees depend on Social Security for their income in the later years. And Dr. Larry Polifka joins us. Larry is the director of the Claude Pepper Center that's located on the FSU campus in Tallahassee. Larry, I mean, that's even hard for me to say, 70%.
Yes, and it's been a high percentage for a long time. I mean, Social Security really went into effect in 1940 with the first payments. But it appears that over the last 30 years or so, that the percentage of people depending on Social Security for most of their income in retirement is increasing. And some of the projections we've seen in our work at the Pepper Center indicate that that percentage is going to continue to increase even through the retirement of the baby boom generation. So What that means in effect is that Social Security, as important as it has been historically in ensuring retirement security, is going to be even more important to more people in the future than it has been in the past or today.
Well, what makes me mad is every time something happens with the budget, the first thing politicians say, oh, they scare seniors by saying, we're going to have to cut Social Security.
I find that to be a real concern as well.
Yeah.
I mean, when you recognize that the need for it is increasing,
Yeah.
and at the same time you've got some policymakers talking about how we've got to cut it because it's not sustainable over the next 20, 30 years, that raises a real concern. I mean, we've had a certain amount of erosion in the private sector retirement in terms of pensions, moving from what are called defined benefit guaranteed pensions to defined contributions, which depend on how your money does in the stock market or the equities market over a period of the time you're working, maybe 30, 40 years. That's a big difference from what their parents, from the parents of workers today. Most of them had a defined benefit guaranteed pension with the companies they worked with. That has changed dramatically since 1980 in just a little over 30 years. Now, today, only 17% of the workers have a defined benefit guaranteed pension. Most of them had defined contributions. And historically, at least for the last 30 years, those pensions have not performed as well as the guaranteed pensions of the past. So that's one of the reasons we've got this gradually increasing reliance on Social Security, the public source of pension, income. And it's projected to increase. So that means that making Social Security strong, ensuring its solvency is more important today than it was 20 years ago. Yeah. It'll be more important in 20 years from now than it is today. That's what we should be serious about.
But how do we do that?
Yeah. Well, you've had the effort, frankly, to cut Social Security in any significant way, whether it's to cut the benefits or to increase the retirement age beyond the 68 that will eventually kick in as a result of the Greenspan Commission from '83. There have been efforts, there have been initiatives to make reductions, and they haven't worked. And they haven't worked, I think, in large measure because policymakers, congresspeople, hear back from their constituents. Yeah. You cut this, what are we going to do? What are our parents going to do? And that has caused serious pause so far in any effort to significantly reduce the program.
Let me tell you, this is a very important topic, so we'd like to have you back soon to talk about this and what we can do. I mean, I hate that fact that 70% live on Social Security. So.
Yeah, and I'll be happy to.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll be back.
Well, welcome back once again. What a show.
We were jam-packed.
Yes,
I think,
we were.
And we do hope you enjoyed all of our programs today. I mean, we had a little cooking show and gave you a recipe you might want to try tonight for dinner. And
Absolutely.
Little music.
But I have a little tidbit. We just talked about Social Security.
Right.
I had a friend that just got his check. He said he covered his ramen noodles just for about a month.
Guy.
He can't make the check expand, but the ramen noodles kind of.
Every night, I'm not sure about that. But we had a lot to talk about today, and I think we're going to close our show with something special.
Yes, we are. We're going to wrap up the show with a special treat for you.
Songwriter Roger Stevens, he's from Tallahassee, and he wrote a song that's dedicated to our wounded warriors and to our men and women in the armed forces. It was also recorded by our good friend Billy Dean, who lives in Nashville. He's from Quincy, has a great voice, and Billy recorded this song. So we'd like to play it for you to end our show. It's a song that really touches the heart. So I'm Anna Johnson.
And I'm Lew Wilson.
And for all of us on Ageless in America, we hope you enjoyed our show today. But remember,
Stay active.
and stay healthy. So long, everybody.
See you.
First time that he fought was for his country. When he left in '68 for Vietnam, he willingly left all his friends and family, 'cause he heard the pleading voice of Uncle Sam. And on that fateful night, when he almost lost his life, he knew right then he'd never be the same. Now the soldier fears defeat as he shuffles on the street, as he looks up to the heavens and the rain. And the faded purple heart that he holds on to is the only recognition of a man who gave up every dream that he ever had, so that we could still have freedom in this land. And in the sleepless nights, he relives those memories, this wounded warrior struggling to survive. I guess that you could say it kinda took him by surprise, 'cause the last thing that he thought he'd have to fight for was his pride. Oh, was his pride. You'll see him in our towns and in our cities, and you might not feel his pain as he walks by. The words alone just cannot tell his story, but you'll see it if he looks you in the eye.